What's up, guys? It's Sunday, February 18th, 2018, and this is my second episode for today. Our episodes are really gaining momentum, and so thanks to all of our viewers for supporting the channel, and thanks to all of the musicians that have called in so far. So, I'm sitting here talking to a good friend of mine, and when I think of him, the first thing that comes to mind is the bass line to Devil's Cry and his hair flying all over the place. Andy Driver, how the heck are you?
I am doing great, Mr. Don. How are you?
Man, I am doing fabulous. It is so awesome to be talking to you tonight, man. Thanks for calling in.
Dude, I definitely appreciate you letting me do the interview, man.
For those of you that live under a rock, Andy Driver is one of the sweetest bass players to grace the mid-Michigan music scene and has done so for almost 20 years. Andy, we're getting old, buddy.
Yeah, we are, dude. I am definitely up there in age for sure now.
And I feel you. My birthday's in like 10 days. 10 days from today. I'm not going to say how old I am, but I'm definitely feeling my age.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not even sure if I'd be able to swing my head like I used to.
So I can remember calling you Andy. We called you Drew. Other times we called you Andrew. So in February 2018, what should I call you?
Drewcifer.
Drewcifer. You heard it here. We'll call you Drewcifer. So Drewcifer, tell us about your band Driver's Divide.
Oh man, I am very excited about this one. Obviously, you know that this is up and coming from a few members of Scare Factor. You got my brother, Steve Driver, who's playing the drums. JC Goins, my guitar player, which he's like one of the best guitar players I've ever had the chance to play with. And then we got Chad Elliott doing those vocals.
I'm glad to hear that Chad's doing well. Okay, so how did the name Driver's Divide come about?
Oh man, we were, you toss in a bunch of names into a hat, and you pretty much kind of draw the best one. And me and JC, we actually started playing together a few months back before we actually got Steve and Chad to come out, and we tossed up a few names here and there. And then once my brother got involved, we just came up with Driver's Divide. I mean, me and my brother always wanted to use our name in a band name, so I guess it just kind of happened.
Yeah, I figured as soon as JC told me that he was in a band called Driver's Divide, I knew that you and Steve had to be involved somewhere.
Yep, for sure, man.
So as far as like the writing process, what gets you in the mood to write a new song?
Oh man, definitely just being able to, jam with JC. Once me and him get together, dude, if it's just me and him sitting here, we'll just start screwing around, and I'll write a riff, he'll write a riff, and I'll write a riff, and we just put them together, and it creates a pretty good song.
So how often do you practice with your band Driver's Divide?
Once a week right now, because obviously we live at four corners of the state, you know what I mean? So
right.
Me and Chad are here in Charlotte, but my brother and JC, one's in Morris and one's in Albion, so it's kind of you kind of got one day a week to get together, but when we do, man, we throw down.
So the drummer in your band is your older brother, Steve Driver. Have you two always jammed together?
Yep, pretty much, except for, I don't know if you remember the band Daylight Binds that me and JC were in. That was
I remember Daylight. That was with Steve, right?
Yep, Overmeyer, yep.
Yep, Overmeyer. Hey, shout out to Steve Overmeyer.
Yep. And Annie, she was doing the vocals for that band, and yeah, it was actually pretty cool, man. We had definitely a good ride for a few years, and we just kind of went our separate ways at the end there.
So do you feel a certain level of pressure, if any at all, being in a band with someone you're so close to?
No, not at all, man. I think me playing bass and my brother playing the drums, I think that actually kind of hones in our material quite well, because we know exactly what each one of us is going to do before we do it.
So is there any kind of sibling rivalry going on there, or do you two generally play nice?
Oh no, like if he pisses me off, I'm going to kick his drum set over. No, absolutely. I love my brother to death. so yeah, we definitely jam very well together. So.
Yeah, I've seen you guys play, and I would have to agree. So I've actually had the privilege of producing your live shows and producing your studio recordings in a band you used to play bass with called Scare Factor. How has life changed since the Scare Factor days?
Oh man, quite a bit. I'd say, well, I mean, songwriting wise, I mean, we're kind of like sticking to that same pretty heavy profile that we had during Scare Factor. But the time we had off, definitely, it kind of separated us a little bit, man. And it was kind of disappointing, you know what I mean? Because Scare Factor was one of my favorite bands.
Right.
And and finally, when getting back together now with Drivers Divide, I mean, it came a long way, dude. We're definitely friends have grown, you know what I mean, and we're just pushing.
So have you all ever thought we should just change our name to Scare Factor?
No, not really. I mean, because people knew us as Scare Factor, but we're kind of like past that. Hopefully we're we kind of like to gain a few new fans and stuff like that, and prey off the old ones, I guess.
So what is it like sharing the stage with the infamous Chad Elliott?
It's pretty badass, man. We definitely, I'm starting to scream with him more. So we're getting our kind of like my backing vocals are definitely coming along with Chad. We blend very well together.
So it's probably been 15 years since I last heard it, and I still get Devil's Cry stuck in my head. Does that ever happen to you?
All the time, man. Every time I pick up my bass to just practice by myself, that's probably one of the second songs I play.
So, fill in the blank for us, Drewcifer. Hold up, I can't go on stage yet. I forgot my blank.
Probably my chord.
So you have a habit of losing your guitar chord?
Yeah, pretty much. It's still in the trunk in the bag, you know?
So what can we expect in the near future from Drivers Divide?
Right now, we are definitely getting ready to get into a studio. We want to record these 13 songs we have. And once we get that done, in the springtime, we're actually going to be shooting a music video.
Cool.
So I'm really excited for that because that will be our first music video ever.
Cool, buddy. Well, you'll have to send it to us, and I'll definitely play it on my show. Get a little promo.
Right.
Get a little promo flowing. So my next question is, what is the best part of playing local shows?
The best part about playing local shows is definitely being able to see your friends there. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier for them to be there. Like if we were on tour, and obviously down in like Ohio or let's say Chicago, something like that, it's pretty tough to get somebody to drive 4 hours to watch a show,
And what is the worst part?
Worst part about local shows is probably the bars are too small.
What about the pay for play?
Pay for play, that's kind of a tough one too. Like you're selling the tickets to get your shows out there, but at the same time, you got to do what you got to do, man. You want to get your name out there, you gotta pay to play.
So, do you prefer the bigger, louder shows, or do you like the smaller, more intimate shows?
I actually do like the bigger shows. You could you get your name out there a lot better, obviously, with the bigger shows. But at the same time, with your local fans, they always push your name as much as they can to begin with, and especially with now all the, the updated, versions of everything that we got now. Everybody's throwing your name out there on Facebook and everything else like that. So that really helps. Andy
Driver, bass player for Drivers Divide. It was great chatting with you tonight, buddy.
Brother, man, you too. I really appreciate the chance to get the interview, man.
Man, I want to give you the mic real quick to shout out anyone or anything. So go ahead.
All right, brother. I guess I definitely would like to thank my bandmates, JC, Steve, and Chad. I really am looking forward to everything we have in the near future. I'd like to give a shout out to my old lady, Candy. I really appreciate her supporting everything I do. And I'd say my parents, too. I love my parents to death, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be who I was today.
Before you go, I have one last question, and it's fill in the blank.
Okay.
I totally regret not seeing blank in concert before he or she died.
Oh, man, I guess I'd have to say Damage Plan.
Damage Plan, man. They're a great band. Dimebag Darrell. You never saw Damage Plan in concert?
No, dude. As a matter of fact, Scare Factor was supposed to play a show right before he got nailed down there in Ohio.
Ohio, yeah. I would have actually loved to see Freddie Mercury from Queen in concert or Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. Those are two really good performers that I didn't get the opportunity to check out.
Hell yeah.
Andy, it's been great, and we will talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
You have a good night.
All right, man. You too.
Peace.
See ya.
Guys, that was Andy Driver, the bass player for Driver's Divide. He's still rocking it 20 years later. I met this guy a long time ago. So make sure you guys check him out on the internet, Facebook. Chad Elliott, Steve Driver, JC Goins, a great group of guys. I'm still your host, DJ Don. Thank you guys for checking out my show, and make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Peace. Thank you guys for checking out my show, and if you guys are looking to get interviewed, make sure you guys hit me up. If you're a musician and you want to get exposure, hit me up, DJ Don, CherishedMemoriesDJ.com. Keep up with all my latest happenings by hitting the subscribe button. Go ahead, do it now.